Hey guys, it is Christine. Welcome to another video here on my channel. If you're new, I am Christine, a homeschooling mom of 3, among other things. And here I share homeschool content on this channel. I share curriculum pics, reviews, homeschooling tips, homeschooling day in the life, that kind of stuff. So if that interests you, please go ahead and subscribe. I would love to have you around, and go ahead and follow me on Instagram. My handle is this.homeschool.house, so it would be wonderful to see you there. I have no children with me. My mom offered to take my kids for 3 nights, and I was like, yes please, because it's exhausting having them 24/7, and I don't complain about it because I chose this. I want to homeschool my kids. I love having them with me all the time, but you know, everyone needs a break. And this is the longest kid-free on my own break I have had since becoming a mother, and it has been heavenly. So my father instructed me that I was not to work. When he took the kids, he's like, this is not an opportunity for you to get all the work done. And I have abided by that, except for this. I did want to film a couple of videos because it is just so much easier to film when I don't have children interrupting me every 5 minutes. So I'm going to film videos, and that's it. I'm not going to edit them while I'm on my break, but I am going to film them. So if you're interested in finding out what curriculum we are using for first grade, go ahead and keep watching. I am very excited to start this new school year and excited to share with you what we're using. So I do have my curriculum picks for kindergarten year up on my channel, so you can go and check that out. I'll link it here so you can see what we used last year. I also recently published an update video of how our year went. I will link that one as well, and you can go and see that. And we are carrying on with a couple of the same things, but we're also doing a lot of new stuff this year too. So I'm going to start with language arts, and we'll just move through the subject. Language arts last year, we used a combination of the Good and the Beautiful language arts and All About Reading. And this year, I still have All About Reading available, and I'm very open to stopping and starting things just depending on what my son needs at the time. But my plan for now is to continue with level K from the Good and the Beautiful. We're up to, I don't know where we're up to exactly, lesson 45, I think, maybe? Yeah, lesson 45. And so I'm just going to continue with this and keep going for as long as it works. And if I find we need to stop, we might switch back to All About Reading for a bit. But I've got that. And then I also went ahead and printed out the level 1 in case we finish level K before the year is up. He can easily move on to this. I do need to get the reader printed though. That's the one thing I haven't done yet, but it's not urgent. Math is the next subject, and it was the easiest decision for me. We are continuing with the Good and the Beautiful. We both really enjoyed their math last year. I am aware that the Good and the Beautiful came out with quite a shocking announcement for many that they are doing away with this curriculum line, and they're coming out with an all-new one called Simply Good and Beautiful. And at first when I saw the announcement, I was like, oh my gosh, no, I love their math, like what are we going to do? But after reading through everything, it actually sounds like it's going to be even better because it's just simplified. It's like the same but simplified. And so I'm actually looking forward to that. And I hadn't invested a lot. I mean, I'll probably still use, well, I say that. I was going to say I will probably still reuse because I've got the PDF for these for my daughter, but if the new curriculum comes out and it's amazing, then we may switch. We'll just see. But I like that the new curriculum is going to be cheaper, and they're still offering the PDF options. That was something that was like really important to me, being international, and with the cost of shipping, having a PDF option is really important. I don't mind buying the manipulatives or even like being able to substitute them depending on if that's like a possibility. But I had gotten that question on another video if I was like what my thoughts were behind it and what I was going to do. For now, we're just going to continue with this. They're not coming out with their new curriculum until like I think it's August. They're supposed to have everything out by, and that's a while away for us. Our school year starts in February, so we're just going to go ahead with this. I've got the manipulatives all sorted for this. I need to do a video on the box that we did, although it's kind of irrelevant now that they're switching their curriculum, but it might still give some people ideas. So we'll see. If you are interested in having a video on the Good and the Beautiful Level 1 math manipulatives and how I just basically made my own and used their PDF, let me know in the comments and I will get that sorted for you. So that's what we're doing for math. Handwriting is the other thing that we are continuing from the Good and the Beautiful. My son finished his level K last year, so we're moving on to level 1. And yeah, he's looking forward to this. He's always actually quite enjoyed handwriting. He doesn't particularly like coloring in though, so I never force the issue with that. I just sort of encourage the letter formation and stuff. This is not something I mean, I will be a little bit more strict about it this year because he's going to be 6 and but he's still really little, so we work on it. But if I sense frustration or whatever, I let it go. We will only be doing, I think, 3 pages a week, so it's not a heck of a lot, but love their handwriting. I love that you can get in PDF and print it off. Okay, and now is when it gets fun and a little more complicated. So I'm going to do our Bible, history, and geography curriculum first. So I did habit training from Simply Charlotte Mason last year. I used their curriculum for that last year. We are not going to be using that this year, and I'll explain why in a little bit, but we are going to be using their history, Bible, and geography curriculum. This is something I have so been looking forward to using. So it's all in combination, and something that was like super important to me when doing Bible and history is that we can combine them, because I think so often we put Bible on one side and history on the other and fail to connect the dots and realize that the things were happening simultaneously. And so yeah, that's why it was really important to me to find a curriculum that kind of like connected the dots and brought it all together. And that is exactly what Simply Charlotte Mason does. So we are going to be doing their history. I think, I don't know how many levels they have now. I'd have to go back and look. But this is Joshua through Malachi and ancient Greece. So the reason I didn't start with their Genesis one is because we kind of did that. We touched on a lot of it using Story of the World last year in our homeschool, and I felt like it was just going to be too repetitious. And so I went ahead and decided we'd do this, and we can always circle back and do Genesis again. I mean, it's designed to be used that way. So this works for grades 1 through 12. You can do it. It's a family subject, and I really love that because Annie is coming up now. She's 4 now, and she loves to be doing school with us, and so I wanted something that's going to work for both the kids. This is very simple. This will be done, I'm doing it 4 days a week, so we're kind of doubling up some lessons. And then this is the visits to the Middle East, so this is the geography portion. There's like maps and all sorts there. And then the 2 main books that it works alongside with are Hungry Planet and Our Material World, and also this one, The Story of the Greeks. So I found the PDF for this and printed it off and just bound it at home. And then there are like some other living books that they recommend. It is obviously a Charlotte Mason philosophy, so there is lots of read aloud and oral narration, and my son will probably like do a lot of drawings and things like that. It's also very simple, but I love that it's family oriented. And then let me go grab something because I realized that I didn't grab it ahead of time. Okay, so the other aspect of our Bible that we're going to be doing is this book here. My mom's best friend bought this for the kids for Christmas. I knew that they were getting it. She had asked me if we had it already. So it is How Great Is Our God by Louis, I don't know how you say his name, Giglio? Anyway, 100 Indescribable Devotions About God and Science. So this is Bible/science, and we'll just read one of these every day. Probably during breakfast time, I'll read it to the kids. It's just short and sweet and to the point, and so that is going to be the other part of our Bible. And finally is science, and this is the one that I struggled with the most to decide what I was going to do. But I'm very happy with what we've got now. It's a combination of things, and really it's kind of like a lot of his subjects, aside from like reading and math, are very mixed. There's like lots in it. So what we are doing for science is number one from Simply Charlotte Mason. We're doing their science, The Outdoor Secrets Companion, and it goes with this book. And then there are a couple of other living books that you need for it. So that's something he'll be doing. It's hard to describe how often we're doing this because I made up like this whole schedule thing. And by schedule, it's not like we must do this at this time and everything, but it's just like a general plan for me for the year so I can get my head around what supplies we need and when we'll need them and that kind of thing. So very short and sweet lessons, like really short and sweet, mostly nature study based. And that's what I wanted for his first year of science. We did not do science last year in any like formal capacity. So we are doing that. But we are also doing a year of tales from a year of learning. So this is a curriculum that I saw on Instagram and I was like, oh my gosh, we have to do that. I absolutely have to do that with my kids. So if you haven't heard of it, a year of learning is like the name for the company, and they have a couple of different curriculums. They have a Year of Tales, and their new one that's just come out is A Year in the 100-Acre Wood. A Year of Tales is based on Beatrix Potter's books. A Year in the 100-Acre Wood is obviously Winnie the Pooh. And so we are doing A Year of Tales this year, and that is what this curriculum is. So this is a curriculum that covers everything. It is very Charlotte Mason style, very gentle learning for the younger years, but you could extend it to like older grades. And I am not going to be doing a lot, like we're not doing everything in here. We're doing nature study, poetry, character study, Bible, that kind of stuff. So this is very much our enrichment study portion of school this year. And I have gone through and like figured out what we're doing basically for all the different weeks. And I'm very excited. I'm deviating from their schedule. I think there are, how many weeks in here? 22 weeks of learning. Yeah. And I'm making it last like the whole year. And instead of they've got a poetry tea time at the end of every week. Instead of doing that, I'm planning on doing it at the end of every term because every week was just too overwhelming for me and it was too much to fit in. So that is what my plans are with this. I'm very excited because this has got like handicrafts and nature study and science and literature and poetry and all the wonderful stuff that just makes school fun, you know? So that is what I'm planning to do with that. And then there are a few living books that it really requires. So I got those living books that is Farm Anatomy, Nature Anatomy, and Food Anatomy. So this is the Julia Rothman collection. I just decided to get the collection because it was cheaper overall to get the 3 books. So we're going to be using these a lot in both the Simply Charlotte Mason and also A Year of Tales. It references it a lot. And then the other one I got for A Year of Tales is Natural World from Curiosity, I think is what it's called. Yeah. And this is another book that we're going to be referencing a heck of a lot. You can see it. It's beautiful. These books are stunning. They're also not cheap. So this is something that I budgeted for because they're not cheap books, but they're very good quality and like stunning illustrations. And I know it's something that we're going to use for years. It's not just a one-off kind of thing. A tip for if you find a curriculum that requires a lot of books and they're just not available in your library, which literally none of them are available in our library. It's just, yeah. I won't go into like the rant behind that. Go onto YouTube because there are a lot of people who do read-alouds on there. So if it's something we really need a reference and I just cannot get my hands on it and it's not something that I want to invest in, I'll go on YouTube and see if I can find it. So there's a little tip for you. I think that sums up his curriculum for next year. So that is what we're planning on doing. It might seem like a lot, but I'm kind of like picking bits and pieces from different curriculum, not necessarily doing it all. So that is what my plan is for now. As we all know, plans change, especially with homeschooling. So I'm open to that and we will go with the flow and see what works. If it gets too much and too overwhelming, we'll change it. I'm going to do a video on our homeschool schedule and what I'm planning to do for next year. And I think that is everything. So if you have any questions, for me about the curriculum or anything, please leave them down in the comments below. I'll do my best to answer that. And keep an eye out because I'm going to be sharing our preschool picks for next year for my daughter. So that video will be coming soon. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
What if the world had more of your smile? What if the wind could spread your love? What if your sweetness could reach everyone? There'd be no wars,